Day 5, our recovery day. For this stretching circuit, you're going to need a small towel or a shirt or even a belt if you have one. So go ahead and grab that and we'll get started. Okay, so go ahead and fold your towel like I just did. If you have any animals that you need to move out of the way, go ahead and do so now. I will be working around mine. And so we're starting today with a dual hamstrings calves stretch. So you're going to lay back, you're going to take the towel and put it around your foot, and you're going to straighten the leg as much as possible, pulling it towards you. Now by pulling the leg towards you, you're stretching the hamstrings, and simultaneously pulling the foot as close as you can to your shin is going to be stretching your calves. Also, something you want to focus on when you're stretching is contracting the opposing muscle of whichever muscle you are stretching. So since we're stretching the hamstring, you would want to contract your quad to allow a deeper stretch in the hamstring. And same for the calf. You would want to flex or contract your anterior tibialis, which is the front of your shin, to allow that deeper stretch in the calf. So once you reach that spot, just hold it and focus on breathing, deep breaths, in and out. Go ahead and switch legs. We're doing about a minute each leg. No worries for the timer for you today. I'll tell you when to switch. Now I'm not super crazy flexible or anything, but I do stretch a lot. It's a part of my routine that I never neglect. So if stretching is something that you haven't made a priority and you can't bring your leg up even half as far as mine, that's okay. You got to work with what you've got. You've got to work with where you're at and just do the best that you can. You should be stretching to the point where you feel that slight discomfort. Out of your comfort zone is the only way to increase your flexibility. Breathe. A few more seconds. And moving on. Next, we're going into a lying quad stretch. So you're going to grab the foot, pull it up toward your glute as much as possible. And this stretch we do during the leg day and full body day warm-ups. We just do it standing, so it's the same concept with the goal of keeping that bent leg as close to your resting leg as possible, so no rotating at the hips. Also, you might have noticed that we're not switching back and forth between these stretches like we do during the warm-ups where we stretch each body part for a few seconds, switching back and forth. That's ideal stretching for pre-workout, but holding the stretches like we're doing now for long periods of time is best for improving your overall flexibility. Breathe. Let that head and neck rest as well. And switch. We're stretching and it's a little bit uncomfortable, but we're also trying to relax as well. The more we can relax, the better of a stretch we can get. Now the muscle we're stretching here is the quad, so the opposing muscle would be the hamstring. So you'd want to contract the hamstring to allow for an increased lengthening or relaxation effect. That kind of stretching is called PNF stretching, if you're interested in knowing more about it. Also, I want to thank you for being here today. I told you multiple times not to skip today, but I didn't really tell you why. So stretching increases your range of motion. It also can help with muscle activation. It can help you with less pain and can help prevent injuries. It can increase your circulation, reduce the amount of delayed onset muscle soreness that you get. And the same with adhesions. It can help, lessen adhesions. It improves your joint stability, not to mention all the psychological effects that you get from it. So stretching is important, and it may not seem like it, or it may seem like an easy thing to just skip, but making it a part of your daily routine can help you feel so much better. Next, we're moving into a piriformis stretch. So you're going to lie back with your legs up, cross one leg over the other, take your hands, slide them around one leg, and then take the elbow of the leg that's bent and push on that to deepen the stretch. Now you should feel this in the glute of the leg that your elbow is pressing on. This is similar to the stretch that we do during full body and leg day, where I always tell you to, hang onto the wall or a chair to get low. Same concept, we're just doing it lying down. I'm showing it to you from above view right now so you can maybe get a better idea of how to do it. You can even grab a pillow here if you need one. Notice how tight my neck is. I should be relaxing my head here. And my fiance watched this and he really got on me about that. He's always getting on me about my head and my neck because those are my problem areas, and I don't even realize that I'm doing it, that I'm tensing there. So if you want to grab a pillow, if you have one nearby, you can, or just let your head rest and relax on the ground. Okay, go ahead and switch legs. And you see where I'm pointing here? That's where you should feel the stretch. While you're pulling the leg up toward you, you're using that elbow to push down to really, really deepen the stretch. Here I am, finally resting my head. So go ahead and breathe. Maintain that spot of slight discomfort. A few more seconds. And rest. Up next, we're going into a hip flexor stretch. This is a difficult one for a lot of people to feel, so just work with me. For this stretch, you are stepping one leg forward, bend the knee, tuck your pelvis, like I'm doing here. And you're getting a stretch in the front of the thigh, right wherever I'm pointing here. That's where you should feel it. Leaning forward, really getting a pull in that tiny area. That's your hip flexor. And if you're not feeling it, you can even widen your stance more than I'm doing here. Focusing on keeping the head and chest up, shoulders back, squeezing the glute of the opposite leg that we're stretching. So I'll show you from the front. If you're still not feeling this, another option is you can try dropping to your knee. That might help by putting the knee of the leg that we're stretching right now down. And you could even do that if you're having trouble with balance. You can use a wall or some piece of furniture for support, or just drop down on the knee. So go ahead and switch legs. Again, I'm pointing to the area where you should be feeling this. Tucking the pelvis, squeezing that opposite glute. I'll show you from the side once again. You can see how I'm tucking the pelvis and really leaning into the stretch. Breathing. This is an important area to stretch. Most people are really tight here. Our hip flexors will get tight from sitting a lot, especially if you have like a desk job. This is a great stretch to, get up and do even maybe once every hour while you're at work. Okay, up next we're moving into a butterfly stretch. So sitting up nice and tall, put the bottoms of your feet together and attempt to bring your knees down as close as you can to the floor. You might not be able to bring them all the way down if your adductors are really tight. Those are the muscles that we're targeting here, which you might know more so as your groin area. But if you're feeling it in your quads or your calves too, then that just means that you have some tightness in those areas as well. And that's fine. That means that you're just stretching those areas too. Again, breathing, you can lean forward to deepen the stretch, as long as you're keeping your posture. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Deep breaths in and out. Remind yourself that this discomfort is short term, it is healthy, and it is manageable. Okay, next we're moving into a lumbar rotation stretch. So you can lie back and cross one leg over the other, just like we did with the piriformis stretch. But instead of grabbing at your leg, all you're going to do is put your arms out, nice and relaxed, and slowly let your legs fall in the direction of the leg that you just crossed. Relaxation is key here to prevent any cramping or spasms of the muscles around the spine. Breathing, you can close your eyes. Great, so these are going to be shorter stretches. So you can go ahead and switch legs now. Cross to the other side, relaxing, breathing, and slowly lowering your legs down toward the floor. Breathing. Great. Next, we're moving into a prone press up. So you can sit up and turn over onto your chest for this one. Now, if you have any disc problems, you can skip this stretch or replace it with a stretch of your choice. On the other hand, if you have a healthy spine, go ahead and lie down flat with your hands out, sort of like you would if you were about to do a push-up. And you're going to simply press up slowly as far as you can. Once you're in position, keep your head facing straight forward. I'm just turning mine to the side here and there to check the timer. If you do have problems and you're skipping this exercise, the next exercise that we're doing is going to be great for you. Breathing. Okay, good. Come down. Next, we're going into like a child's pose stretch. We're getting some flexion here, opening up the erectors, reaching forward with our hands, stretching the lats. Our hips are flexed here, so we're stretching the glutes. We're also stretching the quads. Our ankles are extended, so we're stretching the shins. We're doing all types of stretching here. And the area I'm pointing to right now, that's the lats. That's the area that you should be feeling this by really stretching those arms forward and leaning into the stretch. Breathing, and keep your head down, your neck in a neutral position. You can rock side to side like I'm doing now to deepen the stretch. And also to deepen it further, you can stay exactly as you are, just turn your hands so your palms are facing upward rather than flat against the rug like I have them. All right, moving on. You're going to need your towel for this next stretch. So I'm going to turn around and show you what it looks like from behind. You can sit cross-legged up tall, or if you have trouble getting yourself seated like this, you can do it standing. So take one arm reaching down from above and the other arm reaching up from below. And the amount of shoulder mobility that you have will determine how close you can get your hands to each other. Once you have a good grip, you're going to pull up on the towel with the hand that is high. And by doing that, you're stretching the shoulder, the muscles of the rotator cuff of the arm that's down low right now. And then we're going to do the opposite. Now I want you to pull down on the lower arm like I'm doing here, which will stretch the triceps and the lats and the shoulder of the upper arm. And crucial here is that your spine is straight, no arching of the back. Keep the head and the neck straight in line with your spine, maintaining that posture. Now we're going to switch and pull back up with the upper arm for a few seconds. Breathe. And now last time with this arm, pulling down. And go ahead and switch sides, same thing. We're starting with a pull up for 10 seconds. Hold right where you feel that slight discomfort. Breathing, focusing on the posture. And go ahead and switch. You're pulling down now. Switch again, pulling back up. And last time, pulling down. Perfect. Okay, so here we're moving into just a quick little chest stretch. Maintaining posture, keeping your neck back and the towel overhead. You're just going to reach back with it as far as you can. Now, my towel isn't long enough for me to get full range of motion here, but regardless, I am getting a little pec minor stretch here. And if your towel is longer, you can actually widen your grip and get a deeper stretch. Great. Next, we're moving into some upper trap variations. We're stretching the neck, so get into position. Don't let your neck come forward like I'm showing you right now. Make sure the head is tucked back. And you're going to grab the head, and no cranking here. Be gentle with yourself. Pull your head to the side just slightly to where you really feel it. And breathe. Now, right now, I'm only stretching the top part of my neck muscles. For a more thorough stretch, you can actually anchor your free arm by like sitting on your hand. And that will stretch both the muscle at its insertion and at its origin. So go ahead and switch sides. Moving your head back and forth, breathing. And last but not least, if you have any other stretches here that you want to continue to do on your own, you can add some in. Maybe you're feeling unusually tight somewhere and you want to give some special focus to that area. I'm just going into a couple stretches that I always add into my routine. So I'll let you finish out here on your own. I want to thank you again for spending another 20 minutes of your day with me. Meet me back here tomorrow because we're going back to the weights for day 6 rep drop full body workout.